It is time for your weekly breakdown on the latest in entertainment, sports, pop culture, and all things Milwaukee. This is Nothin But The Truth with Melanie Ricks. Now streaming on 1017 The Truth YouTube with the witty banter, latest trends on social media, and hottest celebrity topics, here is Melanie Ricks.
What's up, y'all? Hello. Oh my gosh, the day has finally arrived. First off, welcome to Nothin But The Truth with Melanie Ricks. I'm Mel, in the stew with the Jason Smith. Jason, how are you?
We here, Mel. Another beautiful week.
It is another beautiful week. Typically, we do these on Mondays, but today we're doing it on Tuesday. And it's not just any Tuesday. It's Election Day.
Big day.
How are you feeling? Because right now, I have butterflies. I feel excited. I feel nervous. I feel scared. Like, there are so many emotions. But I'll tell you, Jason, the best part of my day today was going to the polls and voting. And I literally, like, when I tell you, was grinning ear to ear because I felt it. I felt really good about my decision. I felt really good about the candidate whom I'm hoping to see in the White House next, Kamala. But I'm scared now. As you know, as the day gets later, as the polls start to close around the country, I'm getting nervous. How are you feeling?
I'm ready.
You're ready?
I'm ready for the main event. I'm ready for them to be counting the numbers. I went to vote today as well.
Yeah.
The line wasn't long for me.
No, me neither.
But I did they was a little tricky on that ballot, on that referendum.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that meant at first.
And that's why a lot of people say it's good to mail in your ballot because you can sit and understand everything rather than going there and, to your point, not understanding something, which I get that too, but I think the ballots, they can be a little bit tough to read. They get a little confusing. It's a lot of words on there.
But all in all, I'm excited. Listen, I'm ready to see what all comes from, because tomorrow gonna be crazy.
I know.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. What do you think is gonna happen? Do you think Kamala?
I think Kamala gonna win.
You do?
Me personally, I can't see. Maybe I'm being naive, but I just cannot see a world where Trump win again. Like, I truly cannot.
Okay.
That's why I'm just surprised at how everything is so close on the polls, on all these polls. The fact that half of the nation is really going for him, it's really mind-boggling to me.
You know, I've learned not to be surprised by anything anymore, unfortunately. I do agree with you, though, when you think about the person that Trump is, the things that he has said as of late.
He's a convicted felon.
He's a convicted felon. He's not the best businessman. He hires racist comedians to tell jokes at his rallies. And it's funny because he came at Kamala for basically turning her Houston rally into a Beyonce concert. But I'm sorry. Beyonce wasn't there as Beyonce, okay? As she said, she was there as a mother.
I'm here as a mother.
Donald Trump had his fair share of celebrity endorsers.
He had Hulk Hogan up there ripping shirts and stuff.
That's exactly who I was going to say. So, you know what? There you go. We get Beyonce, you get Hulk Hogan. You know what I mean?
So, which one would you rather have?
You know, it's giving Beyonce all day because we slay. But what I was the most, I don't even know if the word is surprised, but I was not expecting Cardi B to make an appearance at her rally, at Kamala Harris's rally here in Milwaukee last week. That caught me off guard. I thought that was amazing. I love to see it. And it's so interesting because I saw a lot of rhetoric online about that. Like, oh, so y'all want to vote for a president that somebody like Cardi B is voting for. And first off, most of the celebrity women that have been speaking up and have been endorsing Kamala Harris, most of them have daughters of their own. A lot of them have daughters or nieces or, you know, a woman or a girl in their life that they love very dearly. And obviously, a huge argument between these two candidates, reproductive rights, women's reproductive rights. And I know that for me personally, I don't want anyone telling me what I can and can't do with my body. I don't think that there is anyone on God's green earth who is a sane human being would want to kill a child. But obviously there is a reason why we are able to terminate pregnancies at certain stages, because There could be a lot of different circumstances involved there. And regardless of that fact, I don't look at it as murder. I look at it as, you taking care of something that could be harmful to your body. Perhaps it's a harmful situation in which that baby was reproduced, whatever it may be. Regardless of that fact, I don't like the idea of a man, let alone a governing body of men and women, telling us what we can and can't do with our bodies. Because, Jason, I wish we would tell a man what to do with his. I wish we would. It wouldn't even be a consideration. You know what I mean?
Without question. It'll be crazy.
It'd be crazy, and it baffles me. And then don't get me started, and this won't turn into a political show because this is actually more about pop culture, and we'll get back to that in a second. JD Vance coming at all the childless cat ladies. First off, JD, I am a childless dog lady. Okay, so
exactly.
right.
So get the facts straight.
Get the facts straight, for one. And for two, the fact that he said that this country, part of our downfall has been the childless cat ladies. So what do you say to the women that can't have babies?
Exactly.
Or what do you say to the women that have babies because of IVF or because of adoption, because of other ways in which they were able to do that? Like, do they count? What if the baby didn't come from their body? What if it was a surrogate? There's so many different circumstances. And it's funny, Jason, because I tend to believe that a lot of people, they talk all they want and then they experience it for themselves, or they know somebody who went through it. Then only at that point can they understand that viewpoint. But a lot of them still stand on it, even if behind closed doors they know Susie Mae and Anne Marie down the street who had to get an abortion at age 12. You know what I'm saying? Like, they all know, everybody knows somebody, whether you want to admit it or not. Everyone knows someone that has had to terminate a pregnancy for whatever reason, right? And you may not even know that person, for the record, Jason. So people could be watching this saying, well, I don't know anybody that has ever had an abortion. Somebody in your life has had one.
You just don't know.
You just don't know it.
But
Guaranteed.
you know them.
But you know them. Exactly. And guess what? It's none of your business. You don't need to know.
That's my point. That's my whole thing with this reproductive rights stuff. Why do people care what other people do with their body? I would never understand that. This is not you making the decision.
Right.
And then on top of that, the fact that, I personally know girls who've gotten abortions, and they are horrible after mentally. Oh my God. Like, they didn't want to do that, but sometimes you have to.
That's why I said no one wants to do that.
Like, what?
Come on now.
Like, they don't qualify. They don't take into account the mental toll that it takes for a woman to do that.
Right. And then also, it's none of your business who people have sex with either. Like, I think you worrying about what someone does with their body is the same level of weird. It's like, how dare you care about what somebody has going on in their own household? Worry about yourself. Worry about what you have going on. But I think it's our need to control, and it's our need to, like, I don't even know what, like, I guess see America through just one lens. And that's so weird to me because there's just so many lenses. Like, you can't do that. But I do still think that it comes down to, I don't know, like, people wanting to control the level of fun we have, or the level of culture that we're introduced to, or the level of, like, areas in which we can go and visit and be comfortable, because they want to compartmentalize us. You know what I'm saying? They want us over here so that they can go through things over there. And with that being said, I want to get back to the pop culture of it all, because a lot of people, like I said, on social media, they were saying, speaking of compartmentalizing, well, politics and pop culture, they shouldn't mix. You shouldn't have performers at your rallies. But, Jason, who better than to have these celebrities, these A-list celebrities, the ones who have these big followings? Because I'm sorry, no offense, y'all don't do a great job of trying to convince Gen Z that it's important to use their voices and vote. You don't, because Gen Z is smart. And when they see things happening around them, they see the disruption around them, they see the destruction around them, and they see that things just are not changing in an orderly fashion, in a way in which it makes sense for all of us. They will walk away from that crap. You know what I'm saying? Because they'll see it as, well, look at this dumpster fire that y'all have created. we're not going to be able to do anything about that because the generations that came before us, they're still dealing with it and they haven't been able to do anything. So we just going to go over here and wait until it's our turn. But no, y'all have to use your voices now because once it is their turn, once they have aged up to 35, whatever it is, where they can run for president themselves, at that point, I think it's easier to care when you like more so reach that age bracket. And that's me just speaking for Gen Z. I don't know if that's the case, but that's just what I've witnessed. Like I've asked a lot of young voters, and Jason, you'd be surprised how many people have said, I mean, I'll vote, I guess, if that's just what I'm supposed to do. Like so many people responded to me that way.
Trust me, I know.
And I'm like, wow. So my point, what better person than, their favorite athlete or their favorite actress or singer or rapper, etc., to talk to them, to give them the facts, to not deliver misinformation, but to actually use their platform for good and to help them understand this is why your voice matters. But how do you feel about, these candidates turning their political rallies into, I don't even know what word, a show? I don't know what other word to use because it is kind of that, but like, I feel like the presidential race is a bit of a show. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's putting on a show.
You said it perfectly when you were like, how we, Gen Z, because I am Gen Z. When we looking at this political atmosphere, bro, we realizing this is all just a game. One, we know that half of the stuff that both of these, 3/4 of the stuff that both of these candidates are saying, not gonna happen. Like obviously you have to. You have to play the game. Yep. So we looking at it like, wow, what in the world is this?
Right.
So and on top of that, when it comes to voters around my age, a lot of them do be saying, I don't know if I'm even gonna vote or I'm not gonna vote because one, I either don't like either candidate, or I just don't know who to vote for. So they just choose not to vote at all.
Exactly. Which I can respect the thought behind that second one, Jason. If you don't understand, maybe don't participate in something you don't understand. However, that's where you use the resources around you, aka your phone, aka the people, the books, the internet, whatever it may be. Use your resources to do your homework, do your research. Unfortunately, Jason, I don't think that ignorance is an excuse.
It's not an excuse. Especially with the Electoral College, because I think one of the main things is that my generation, they don't understand how the Electoral College works. So they feel like, oh, my vote don't count anyway because the Electoral. I'm like, bro, your vote counts towards the Electoral College points. So like I think it's just a matter of education, but ignorance is not an excuse. Why? Because we have Google, bro. You could pick up the phone.
Right.
However, I can't play devil's advocate.
Okay.
With the celebrities showing up for the candidates for the concerts and stuff. Yeah. Before I do that though, I would like to say that first off, celebrities been endorsing candidates.
Yes, they have.
Like this has been happening. I remember 100%. LeBron endorsed Biden. I remember people was endorsing Obama. Like this has been going on. This is nothing new.
I agree. Well, people were probably endorsing George Washington. You know what I mean? It's always been this way. Always.
Always. So I like celebrities endorsing candidates on. Listen, that's common. That's what's gonna happen.
Right.
However, when I can play devil's advocate when it comes to like the performances and like having Glorilla up there and Cardi B, because I do understand what Kamala's doing. Obviously,
of course,
that drew us in. Like we all was watching. Yeah. We all was tuning in. And I guarantee you that shifted some voters. Yeah. But then on the other hand, people could say, well, dang, you diminishing us to this. Like you have to, bring a rapper out here who rapping about what she doing on Friday night at 7 p.m.
Right.
Like, this is what you have to do in order to bring us down. Are you dumbing us down? I can understand that point from some people.
Do you think she is in doing that? Because I don't necessarily look at it as dumbing down. I think that she's playing to, a certain audience.
She playing the game. And she politicking. This is politics.
It's just politics. That's all it is, And I don't think that, I don't look at it as that's all we are, is that I think that she was trying to reach a certain audience, like a specific audience. Glorilla and Cardi B, they're not for everybody. They're not for all of her voters, but they're for a very specific targeted demographic. And that's why
I didn't think of it that way.
You know what I'm saying? So just because she brings in or has certain supporters, you've got people on all ends of the spectrum that support Kamala Harris, and the same for Donald Trump. You're not going to have two of the same, you know what I'm saying? You've got different types of voters, different age brackets, et cetera, life experiences, income. There's so many different factors. So when you think about the Cardi B and the Glorilla, they're not necessarily for, well, I don't even want to name a demographic because there's a lot of random demographics that like them. You know what I'm saying? But my point is not everybody is for them, but she brought them in for that specific targeted demographic that does want to see that and does want to see that they support Cardi B. Because, Jason, sometimes when your favorite celebrity supports something that you don't fully understand, it gets you to pay attention and it makes you want to understand, like, oh, so why do they like her? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know if y'all get just how crazed, like, fandom can be. People are obsessed with their favorite celebrities and they want to know everything about them. They want to follow everything that they're doing. They look at their body types as trends. They look at their music as trends, their hairstyle, their nails. Everything that these celebrities do is trendy. So are the politics that they follow. I hate to say it. However, I'm not looking at it as like, oh, because it's trendy to vote for Kamala Harris, you should vote for her. No, what I'm saying is because these fans are so obsessed and so immersed in what these celebrities are doing and almost feel like these celebrities are their friends in a way because they're so reachable, I think it forces them to learn more about Kamala because their favorite celebrity is posting this information about, you know, her policies or posting this information about why they're voting for her or posting that they're going to be at this rally. Now that fan's going to go to that rally and learn more about Kamala Harris. And maybe at that point they realize, oh, I can get down with this. I do believe in this. I do agree with that. I guess I'm voting for Kamala Harris. Like, that's how it more so is, as opposed to just saying, well, because they're voting for them, I'm going to vote for them. Like, I don't want to believe it's that quick and easy, and I know it is for some, but I'd like to think that these fans that really deeply follow their favorite celebs, they're also learning, you know, as they go. You know what I mean?
No, without question. I completely agree with that. Because, like, listen, I'm firsthand. I remember in 2020 when Brian endorsed Biden, what did that force me to do? I started just looking up more stuff. Because and it helps reinforce confirmation bias. So if I got most of the celebrities that I mess with on one side, and then I got most of the celebrities who I don't mess with on the other side, obviously I'm going to lean towards the celebrities I like because I can see myself in them. It's some type of connection, some type of relatability. So obviously we thinking alike somehow. So no, without question, I'm all for the celebrity endorsements. I'm all for bringing the celebrities out for the campaign. Bro, we got to understand, the president is a celebrity. The president might be the most famous person on the planet because everybody know you're the most powerful person on the planet. So everybody know the president. So of course you go bring out. You made a good point talking about the specific niches and the specific target audiences that she was targeting. I did not look at it like that. I'm sure she wasn't targeting a 60-year-old white man in Waukesha.
Right.
No, she was targeting a younger demographic, the demographic that needs to go out and vote, who they haven't been voting, who we haven't been voting. But I think we did change it this year because I can't even go through a story without people my age posting a I voted sticker. I ain't never seen that before.
Me neither. I think that's remarkable, but I think a lot of it has to do with their tactics and bringing, you know what I mean?
Politicking.
And they're very smart for doing so. But you know what, though? When I say that these celebrities are so influential, let's talk about the way that they influence, you know, gun culture, the way that they like, come on now.
I don't like it.
I don't either. And unfortunately, y'all, I feel like we've got celebrities on two ends. You know, you've got the celebrities that are actually writing and rapping about what really is going on in their life. And then you got the ones that are simply doing it for entertainment, but the lines blur and it's hard to know what's real, what's not. But unfortunately, most people who listen to this music, that's real life to them. You know what I mean? Like that's them. They're like basically becoming a character in this alternate reality. You know what I'm saying? When they listen to their favorite rapper, listen to their favorite singer. Cause I know I do. Like if I'm listening to SZA, I'm SZA now. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I can't lose when I'm with you, honey. Why would I snooze and miss the moment? Like, I am singing to somebody like that when I listen to that song and I understand it. So obviously it's on us, like, to consume certain music. But what about those who purely consume rap, purely consume hip hop, and purely consume this type of music that leads to things like RICO charges and leads to things like Young Thug being in prison, which, by the way, him being released was not totally shocking, But I was surprised. I was surprised when it happened. Like I
I was
knew it would
surprised.
eventually happen. I didn't think it would be this soon. And I can't even believe, like the fact that they were using his own songs against him.
I hate that. I don't like that part.
I hate that too. But how do you feel, in regard, like when you really think about it? Because honestly, Thugga, first off, his name is Young Thug. Okay, let's just call it. Let's start there. Okay. But I'm naive and I don't look at it as like, yeah, he a thug. I'm just like his rapper name is Young Thug. It's just a persona, whatever. But then they basically started saying that he's a kingpin and like, you know what I mean? And he's the one that's facilitating these different things and glorifying these things. And now he's being locked away because these charges, it turns out, are real. And he told us to our faces that they were really happening. How do you feel when your favorite artists or just maybe artists you listen to in passing, they start making that type of music that, let's be honest, encourages that culture in your own neighborhoods? Because it's kind of the same thing as Kamala bringing a Cardi B, and Glorilla to her political rallies because she knows it's going to bring a certain demographic of people. Well, Young Thug's music is aimed at a certain demographic, and I don't think that demographic is necessarily looking at it as just play. I think they're looking at it as like real life. So how do you feel when they glorify, these street drugs or these street activities that in a music video, it's fine because, at the end of the day, everyone goes home happy. But like in real life, you can go to prison or people can die or other terrible things can happen from that. How do you feel, Jason, as somebody who is Gen Z? Are y'all able to distinguish, or do you see that people, they really do look at this as like, nah, this is real life and I'm about to live that life too because my favorite rapper lives that life, so why wouldn't I?
I think it's definitely hard to distinguish from the persona that you put yourself in when you listening to them versus the real you.
Right.
So like, I know firsthand. I got friends who used to be addicted to Xans and perks and all of that, and who their favorite rapper? Future. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Obviously, Future got something to do with that.
And he has a song called Zanny Family. That's one of my Zanny Family is one of my favorite Future songs.
I love Future. I love Future.
But like listening to Zanny Family, that's tough. But anyway, sorry not to interrupt, but you're right.
It is because like the music's so good and what he's saying, he's telling the story and painting it so beautifully.
Right.
However, the problem that I got with it is Future.
Yeah.
Don't even do all the drugs that he literally came out and said, I don't do these drugs. NBA Youngboy, who I love NBA Youngboy from the standpoint of the fact that he's young and he made stuff happen.
Right.
But the content in his music is so violent
and
so murderous. And it's crazy because he literally said he don't even want to talk about that stuff. It's the labels who telling these rappers to talk about this stuff because this is what's selling.
Right.
And then on top of that, what is it doing? It's brainwashing, especially black kids. So now what you go do? The black kids either go kill each other or they go get sent to jail. Mm-hmm. So it's like this big, I don't want to say conspiracy because it's literally happening. The rappers are literally coming out saying this is happening.
Right.
I hate the fact that we glorify it because I hate the fact that we perpetuate that stereotype. We keep perpetuating these stereotypes through the music, and then we wonder why a lot of these kids end up messed up because Michael Jackson said music is mantra. So like when you constantly, especially a hook, when you constantly playing these songs in your head, you subconsciously pick up on that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You subconsciously start having these thoughts, subconsciously start doing this stuff without even realizing it. And that's the evils in it.
I agree. But that's the thing, Jason. It's like, can we really fault them for creating this persona? Because at the end of the day, it is entertainment.
It's art.
It's art. You know what I mean? And like, listen, he just said it. Like Jason said, he still listens to Future. I still listen to Future. I love Future. I love Wayne.
Lil Wayne's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT. Like, but this man still talks about sipping lean.
Exactly.
After all those seizures that he's had and near-death experiences, this man still talks about the same thing that almost killed him. I'd like to believe he doesn't still do it. Like, I want to believe that he just says bars because that's how Wayne is. He really is like that. Like he's known for not writing his stuff down. He's known for freestyling. And I do believe certain bars just come to his mind. I do believe that there are certain dudes who just talk about that life just because it rhymes or because, they want to make a video about it, whatever. Maybe their label's asking for it. But how much responsibility can we put on them when it's up to us to make that choice? Like, I'm sorry, but I don't see Future handing out a little Ziploc bag full of Xannies to people. So how much of that responsibility can we put on Future? You may have heard him, make a song glorifying it, but he didn't say, whoever's listening to this track, make sure you go buy some Xannies right now. I'll get you a prescription. Like you know what I mean? Like he's just singing about it, or and I do feel like they have a responsibility, but only to a certain point, because they're not babysitters, they're not nannies, they're not au pairs. I didn't hire Lil Wayne to, come and help me, live my life to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not it. Like, they're making art, they're making entertainment, to your point. And I just don't think that we can put that responsibility on them. I personally, I don't mind that type of music, because sometimes that type of music has the best beats. I'm not going to lie. I also am not the type, though, to be influenced enough to go and do drugs, because I know what the outcome would be of that. But that's also me speaking from a 33-year-old's perspective. When I was younger, maybe I looked at it a little bit more. It's like, oh, they're doing that, and oh, look at that over there. Like, I wasn't like necessarily doing it, but if I saw it happening, my young brain was just like, whatever, they're just having fun, they're partying. But again, people are making the decision to do that themselves, and I don't think that you can necessarily blame the artist. But what happens when their persona bleeds into their real life, like Lil Durk, or like, I mean, I hate to bring him up, but Diddy. I mean, but Diddy and R. Kelly, those type of evil monsters, they talk about their wrongdoings in their lyrics, and I almost think it's their way of bragging in a weird, like, narcissistic way.
They can do this and get away with it because they so big.
Exactly. So I think that theirs is a little bit different. But yeah, like, what happens when it starts to bleed into your real life? Like, are you able to separate the artist from the art if they are doing these? I mean, Young Thug, people went through it even when he went away. Like, obviously his fandom still very large. I mean, people still supported him from inside, but like, at what point do you like kind of say to yourself, oh, he's really doing this and he's really influencing, a certain culture or a certain, age group? And let's be honest, young Black men can be extremely influenced because a lot of them don't have that role model at home. And so they look for it in their art, in their favorite artist. They look for it in their favorite athlete, and they don't always choose the best mentors. But that's the thing. These rappers aren't mentors.
They are not. They are artists.
They're artists. And it's up to us to distinguish the difference.
Eminem used to talk about this, because obviously when Eminem was going crazy, Slim Shady saying all the crazy stuff. I love Eminem first. Eminem used to be my favorite rapper of all time. And he said, bro, it's not my job to parent your kids. Like, I make the music, I make the art. I'm telling you what's on my mind.
Right.
So now basically I can't express myself, which art is just self-expression. I can't express myself. I can't give you what's on my mind. Even if it's dark, this is what I'm thinking, and I will need to get it out. This is my form of therapy.
Right.
So I think that while I do think they hold some level of responsibility, it's like you said, it's to a certain extent, because it's only so much they can do.
But
I know with the Thug thing, they say he got to make inspirational music and stuff now. The thing with that is, and I'm cool with that, because I think if Young Thug can merge inspiration with his rap style, he already influential as a mug.
Right.
He can go to another level. But with that, you kind of taking away what's authenticity, because bro, if these dudes is like, if this is their life and this is their form of therapy, this is their form, like, I remember when T.I. was explaining trap music and stuff like that, he like, dude, this is what's going on in my neighborhood. I'm literally just telling y'all what, nobody else is talking about it. Nobody else is highlighting it. I'm trying to tell you what's going on.
Right.
This is what I see every day. And now I can't even do that.
My only rebuttal to that, Jason, is, so who are they making that music for then? Like, are you making it to, like you said, talk about what's going on in your life? Are you making it because you're trying to target those who live that life? Like, that's my only thing that I like dwell on maybe for a moment, because again, I don't mind that type of music, because I don't I don't know, I don't do the stuff that they talk about. And again, I think usually it's really good music, mainly because of the beat, because of the bars, because of the rapper, like whatever it may be. But I'm not taking it as Bible. I'm not taking it as like, yep, what he says goes.
Exactly. But that's what it is. I believe that most artists make music for them. As in, like, these artists are making a song, like, what sounds good to them, what feels good for them, what sounds right to them. It's so hard to, like, try to make art, anything with art. Like, a movie, anything would just so focused on pleasing an audience.
Right.
Because you don't know what people gonna like. You don't know what people will gravitate towards. So
Yep.
you got to make what you like and then see what comes from it.
Right.
But like we could talk about mob movies and Godfather and Scarface and all of that stuff. Is that not doing the same thing?
Right.
Like it's so many different avenues where we can go.
Yep.
But I don't think that media and entertainment can only be focused on positivity and
Right.
inspiration. Bro, it's a dark side to stuff. It's a other side to stuff that needs to be exposed, that needs to be talked about. And I mean, these are ways and platforms that we are allowed to do it in.
I agree. No, I couldn't agree more. But then, you guys, when I start thinking about that, I do start thinking about the parenting of it all and thinking about the parents who expose their kids to certain things. And last week during Halloween, DJ Envy thought it was a good idea to dress his
That was crazy.
child up as Lil Kim. Now, hold on. What I want to know for real. Does that child of yours, because speaking of exposing your kids to certain like artists or songs, whatever, does your kid know Lil Kim? Like, does she know who she was modeled after? Did she see a picture or watch the music video, or you know what I mean? Does she consume content and then you put that costume on her, or did you just put the costume on her and not explain it? Because to me, it's giving he exposes his daughter to certain things, and they thought it was cute to dress their daughter up as that, because I can't help but wonder, because it was so scandalous, Jason, I'm like, ain't no way the parents came up with it. Ain't no way. I'd like to believe that child asked to dress like that. But if she did, why does she know what that outfit is? Why did she ask to dress like that? And why did you oblige her? Assuming that's what happened. That's the only thing I can think of. There's no way a parent said this will be a good idea.
I don't think she went and asked to be Lil Kim. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, how would she really know who Lil Kim is like that? That girl look like she like 5, bro. Like that girl look young. And when I thought that girl, they are going crazy. The fact that she ain't had no clothes on, and when she was in that red outfit, that is absolutely insane. I don't know what was going through DJ Envy head. I don't know if he thought that Instagram was gonna like that, because everything I see, they own them, saying, "What in the world are you doing right now?"
So his daughter is 8 years old, and if y'all are wondering, that he dressed his daughter up as Lil Kim from the Crush on You video, and the thing about it is, it couldn't have been more inappropriate for an 8-year-old. And by the way, she was lip syncing along to the lyrics, and the lyrics include, "I'll be undressed in a bra, all see-through, and the only thing I want to do is freak you."
Bro, what?
But this what made it worse, Jason. When there were certain lines like "freak you," she put her hand over, like she knew, and the parents knew. Like, she's saying something inappropriate. Better cover your mouth for a second. Look at the way she's dressed. You may as well have her say the whole thing. The fact that you had her put that on at all, Jason, I was appalled. I was disgusted. I was mortified for him, for his family. If anybody knows what culture of disgusting, perverted individuals lives on the deep, dark web, if there's anybody who knows.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a celebrity. Ain't no way, ain't no way. And I don't want to get into the conspiracy theory of it all.
It's easy to do, though.
Because what else would it be?
It's real easy to do, because that's sexualizing your own 8-year-old child.
And I'm sorry, it's not normal, Jason.
That ain't normal. The internet is full of child predators. It's so much stuff out here, like of reasons of why you should not expose your child to stuff like that. And putting her on social media when your following is millions and millions, everybody go see this. But the scary, because for him to post it and make that big old production, he had to think people were gonna be okay with this. Like, he had to think that this was normal to him, and that's what's scary, because we already know about Hollywood and what's Hollyweird. And we don't, what's normal in Hollywood is not necessarily normal in the normal world. So that is scary. It's scary.
And his wife was involved in this. Like, I could see if the wife, but even if the wife dressed as Lil Kim and the daughter was just in the family photo, even that to me would be weird. But you got the daughter, And if you look at like a screen grab of just Lil Kim from that video, it's inappropriate. Like, I would never let a child watch that music video. You not only had your child, I'm assuming she watched it. She definitely watched it because
she was reenacting it.
She was reenacting it. She's watched that video before. But she's not only watched it, she reenacted it. She echoed what the lyrics were saying. She dressed up like it. Like, who are you doing that for? Who are you feeding that video to? That's what I think. I'm sorry. Because there's no way you don't, at some point it doesn't cross your mind, somebody could save this to their computer. That video will live forever. That's never going to go away. There are people who saved that video to their computers, Jason.
I know, and it's crazy. But what would you say to people who say, "Well, it's just a Halloween costume. No. It's just fun. No. Everybody just making a big deal of it."
No, it's inappropriate. It is a big deal. It's disgusting. He should be embarrassed. He needs to apologize. I can't believe he and his wife did that. I really can't. I'm shook. I'm sorry.
Him and his wife, they were both in on that.
They were both in on it. Like, I'm shook. I think it's so inappropriate. I can't believe it's real. You know what I mean? And that poor child, I feel bad for her. Imagine her in 10, 20 years from now being just like mortified that her parents did that to her.
'Cause she don't really know what's going on.
No.
You 8 years old.
She's 8 years old.
You doing what your mama and your daddy tell you to do.
Let us know in the comments how you guys felt about that. You need to go and watch the video. And, I'm sure we'll be able to put like a pop-up or something. But let us know in the comments what you guys think about it. If you thought that it was inappropriate, you think it was just a Halloween costume. Because, Jason, I do believe in like just Halloween costumes. But I also think you can't cross a certain line. They went so far past the line. To me, it was definitely giving like, here you go. Here's a plate. Here you go. I'm feeding my daughter
Yummy.
to you.
Have you seen a yummy
Yes.
Justin Bieber?
Yes.
Precisely.
Yes. Like, I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it. I'm still shook.
No, I'm mortified. It's just the fact that I'm just more so scared the fact that they thought it was okay to do that, because that shows a lot. And that shows a lot about their mindset and what they're thinking. Because like, bro, when I first saw it, I didn't know what I was watching, because I'm like, is this real right now? Like, is that a little girl right there? Like, what?
And people have the nerve to get upset over like girls in dance and gymnastics who wear those tight clothing, but like you put your daughter and you're sexualizing your own daughter, by the way.
That's the fact that it's your own kid.
It's your own kid. It's your own kid. Like, somebody bought that, by the way, had to have that custom. That's not a normal little kid's costume, by the way. Like, custom. Like, y'all had to go through these steps. You bought the wig, you know what I mean? You got her little fur. Like, they did all these things, and not at one point did they say, maybe we shouldn't do this. Like, they really did it. They put it out there for the world to see. I
don't know.
That's the type of celebrity influence, though, Jason, where I'm like, okay, because what if that makes somebody want to put their own child in something like that? You know what I mean? Like, that can influence a whole other different type of culture. You just never know. Like, people, you'd be surprised at the things that people follow because their favorite celebrities are doing it, you know?
I say protect the kids, and especially protect your own kid.
Yes. An 8-year-old should not, absolutely should not be in something like that. And you definitely shouldn't post it on the internet. Like, keep it private. You know?
You posted it for millions of people to see.
Right.
But I don't know. Privacy nowadays, I guess, especially in celebrity world, they don't care about privacy. And I think that's what messed up. Like Michael Jackson, think about Michael Jackson, Prince, and all of these people who were so mysterious because they were so private, because like we didn't know nothing about them. Now we got the social media era.
Right.
And now every celebrity want to put everything out there. Like Beyonce, she is pretty private, and I like that. But like so many celebrities just want to put everything out there on social media to the point where we know and see everything about them. I think we should go back to the celebrities being having a little bit more mystique to them.
But Jason, the issue with that is then they can't be on social media.
Yeah.
I think social media has made it so that they basically feel like they're like us.
Yeah.
And I think that's why social media, like influencers and TikTok stars, I think that's why people consider them like actual A-list celebrities. Like, oh my gosh, what is her name? Something, Charli D'Amelio.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I would recognize her, but I probably wouldn't recognize her if she passed me on the street. But like, then there are some who like, you see her walking, you see Brad Pitt, and somebody gonna think, she's the more famous of the you know what I mean?
Crazy.
Isn't that crazy? But like, that's really how it be. It's real. But speaking of keeping things private, the last thing I wanted to touch on today, Cam Newton.
Whew.
So Cam Newton, he has a girlfriend by the name of Jasmine Brown, and Newton revealed on his Funky Friday podcast that he has been intimate with other women outside of his relationship with her. And basically she said, yeah, he has. I know who he's with. I know who he is. And he comes home to me at night. So my thing about that, why publicly, okay, and I'm sorry to use this word because maybe I shouldn't project how I would feel, but why publicly embarrass that girl? Like, that's embarrassing. I had the biggest secondhand cringe when I saw that, Jason. And basically, they're implying that the relationship is, a polygamous and like they, basically saying that it's open. However, he said, quote, as long as I have been with Jazz has not been the only person that I have had sex with. And I feel like the way in which he said it kind of is implying like, yeah, I've cheated, but it's fine. Like, that's the way that he said it. He didn't say like, yeah, we're both open. We see different people and, we just don't believe in monogamy. No, he said, I've had sex with other women. So AKA, she's not enough. She's not fulfilling me enough. And we've talked before about the idea of, maybe some men needing more than one woman to fulfill them, which is a whole other discussion. But how do you feel knowing that Cam Newton not only is a public figure, but has this podcast that he went and, talked about this on? How do you feel about him speaking so openly about the fact that his girlfriend is not the only one that he's having sex with?
Mel, I'm going to say, I don't know if it's embarrassing or not just because what if she not embarrassed? What if they literally got this arrangement and it's like, hey, listen, you my girl, I'm your guy, and we can go see whoever we want to see, but at the end of the day, you come home to me. Now, that is not, I would say, normal, especially like when we were talking about monogamy in America. Like that wouldn't per se be normal, but it might be. We talking about how stuff is different in Hollywood.
Right.
So stuff that's definitely normal. I mean, look at Will and Jada. I'm pretty sure it's a whole bunch of open and swingers and all of that stuff in Hollywood.
Right.
So I don't know that if it's really that much embarrassing if they just out in the public with it, because what is she telling people the same thing? Like, yeah, Cam, my guy, but I'll be out here doing what I got to do too.
True. Let us know in the comments how you feel about that. Like, just the fact that they're public figures. Let's be honest. Cam Newton, he's somebody who's still a very popular athlete. He's somebody where when comments like this are made by him, they're going to go viral, as they did.
Oh, yeah. Everybody heard this.
Everybody heard it. But how do you feel about him being so open about the fact that his girlfriend is not the only one that he's been intimate with? By the way, when this was dropped, she put on her story, here come the just checking on you DMs. I am fine. Trust me. I know who and what my guy is. I'll say guy. Ain't no secrets or surprises. He can talk to me about anything.
See, they relationship probably just open, completely honest. They just have a firm, stern agreement.
But I hate the idea that this woman has to be okay with it, because that's what it gives me. It's giving either you're going to be okay with the fact that you are not enough for me, or you got to bounce. And I don't like that, Jason. Like, why do we have to be the ones? Because y'all could never. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it right now. Y'all could never be okay with it. Could you imagine if the roles were reversed? Exactly. So why is it okay for y'all to be the ones that are getting laid by multiple humans, but we can't?
Because it's different.
Why is it different?
It's way different.
No,
I'm not going to lie to
no,
you.
It's not.
Because y'all be more emotionally invested. Y'all be more emotionally involved. If y'all talking to a guy, y'all doing that, 9 times out of 10, y'all care about that dude. If y'all sitting there texting the dude and doing all that, going on, man, don't tell me you went on a date with another dude. Don't tell me you went on a date. You went on a date? Like, no, because you care about that dude.
Right.
Us? Now listen. Now this might be bad, but of course, we could separate emotion and that. We can separate it. Emotion and fun. We can separate it. I don't think women are the best at separating emotion from fun. I just don't know.
Okay, you're right. I'm not going to lie. You're right. Most of us cannot because it'll start off fun, but the emotions come real quickly after.
I know that for a fact. Trust me.
I
Like,
hate that.
man.
But, like, don't you feel any sort of guilt? Like, Cam, aren't you guilty? Like, what do these women have? Like, are they being tested? Are they clean? Are you using protection? Like, that's where my mind goes.
I hope so. I hope he's not out here just moving too reckless.
I mean, he was pretty reckless about the way he spilled the beans on this information, so I don't know.
We don't know.
But my point is, Jason, like, how do you feel about a like someone who's a public figure? And, I mean, clearly he's somebody that a lot of people know and a lot of women, especially now, this man done sounded the alarm. Women coming out of the woodwork like, oh, so you okay, bet. And he's going to only have more women banging on his door now. I guarantee
that was
it.
dang near part of his plan.
He said, ski.
You feel what I'm saying?
100%. But he's a public figure. So, like, I feel like when you're that public, when you're as famous as Cam Newton, I feel like it's so disrespectful for you to be like, yeah, my girl's not the only one that I've had sex with since we've been together. Then how many women I can only imagine. It's probably in the dozens.
Oh, come, he was an NFL superstar. I mean, he former MVP. But, like, I'm a big proponent of keeping all that private. I'm a private versus professional. Like, I don't think that the world needs to know your private life. They can know your professional life. They can know what you show them. Yeah. But I hate when people, whether you famous or not, especially when you famous, why do you want all your personal business out there, bro?
Right.
Keep that at the crib. Keep that in your back pocket. You don't have to expose yourself for clicks and views. Obviously, that was part of the reason to go viral. Like you were saying, maybe to get more girls, because he definitely go get more girls out there. This is a whole bunch of girls that's fiending for the opportunity to talk to Cam Newton.
Absolutely.
So I'm a big proponent of keeping all of that separate. Private versus professional.
Right. No, I agree with you. Let us know your thoughts on that. I mean, it really is pretty remarkable when you think about how much of a chokehold celebrities have on the culture and just how influential they are. When we talked about them going to the different political rallies, let us know how you feel about that and their influence when it comes to you, helping you decide which candidate is going to be best for you. Personally, I think it's fine for them to have influence there because I do think that they more often than not will give an opportunity for people to learn more about these candidates, whether it's because they're showing up at the same rallies as their favorite celebrity or because they're actually reading the celebrity's captions, and these captions are saying, hey, I'm voting for this person because XYZ. And maybe that person wouldn't have done the research themselves if they didn't see it on their favorite celebrity's social media. Who knows? But then not only that, you've got the other side of the spectrum where you have celebrities that are influencing gun culture and influencing theft and crime and drugs and all of these things that they glorify that we still, as a culture, are trying to get rid of and trying to remove. But let's be honest, it'll probably always be there because there's going to always be money in that culture, unfortunately, not just from the music side of it, but from the actual drug side of it, from the actual gun side of it. But how do you feel about celebrities being influential in that regard? Because, again, two different spectrums, but two huge platforms and two big ways in which celebrities, they do influence the things that we do, the things that we consume. Lil Kim is influencing DJ Envy, and to the point where his 8-year-old daughter is dressing like a grown woman who wore a thong in a music video in the 90s. And here we are in 2024, and now this 8-year-old little girl knows that dressing scantily clad for Halloween is okay at the age of 8. People try to come down on women for being sexy, for being the sexy Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz, but you got an 8-year-old being a sexy Lil Kim from a Crush on You video, which, by the way, I'm pretty sure is a Bad Boys song. But anyway. And then last but certainly not least, the idea of Cam Newton influencing this idea that it's okay for the man to be intimate with other women because there's no emotions evolved over there. But when the woman does it, oh, no. No. Let us know what you think about all of that. This was a nice little pop culture rundown. And there's a lot that's going on right now. But the most important thing going on is the presidential election. The next time we're together, Jason, we will know who our next president.
We will have a new president.
Yes, we will have a new president. Regardless, we will have a new president. But Kamala's going to stay in the White House because she's going to move on up from VP to the P. All right, Madam President, we are rooting for you. And I just hope and pray that things go in the right direction. I really, really do. But until next show, we hope that you all have a great rest of your day. Let us know in the comments what you thought about all of this. Always love hearing your feedback, your comments. And Jason, really appreciate you as always, producer extraordinaire. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for tuning in to Nothing But the Truth with Melanie Ricks. We'll see you next time. Go Pack Go.